Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. First question, do you want to retire a millionaire? Yes, R1,000,000 in your retirement. If yes, you come to the right video. Before I begin with this video, I would highly recommend that you watch my previous video in this link here on how to manage your money, as I'll be using some tips from that video in this video. So if you do not want to get lost in this video, I would highly recommend you watch that first before coming back to this video. So you want to be a millionaire? I'm sure everyone wants to be a millionaire. The question is, do you have what it takes? In order to retire a millionaire, you need to have discipline. You need to resist temptation, but most importantly, you have to start today. The earlier you start saving, the easier it will become and the faster you can retire. If you're not starting today and you want to delay for the next few years, yeah, sure, this method is still doable, but you have to sacrifice two things. Old age, meaning you retire a little bit later, or more money for savings because you have to play catch up. Whichever method you want, I leave it completely up to you. So to retire a millionaire, you only need two simple methods, or actually one. One is your own saving in fixed deposit accounts. Number two, your EPF, which is technically automatic from the day you start working to the day of your retirement. So you only have one element to control, which is your FD account. And I strongly recommend you putting your savings in FD account and not in your savings account. Savings account do not have the high interest rate that an FD account has. And like I said in the previous video, the savings account's interest rate is pathetic and is downright pathetic. The goal for this method is to ensure that you can achieve a sustainable and comfortable retirement for the next 20 to 30 years after you have retired. You have to be consistent with your saving. Set a fixed amount, which my usual fixed amount will be 20% of your salary, and try to increase it as your pay goes higher. Which, by the way, this video will assume that you earn a basic gross income of 3,400 ringgit, which after deduction, PCB, EPF, and SOXO, as well as EIS, you end up somewhere within the 3,000 ringgit mark. 3,000 ringgit after deductions, 20% of that will be 600, and I'll be using this 600 for the rest of the video just to make the video go smoothly and for you to understand better. And I would like to remind you from the previous video, please spend your remainders and not save your remainders. You must put aside your savings the moment you get your paycheck. This is how you should discipline yourself. And I have been using this method for many years, and I have some success stories to share in the following few videos. Let's begin. Like I said earlier, there are two components to making you a millionaire: FD account and fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit account has a very powerful tool called compounding. Compounding is basically when you reinvest your interest into the next cycle. So for instance, if let's say you are investing 100 ringgit and your FD's interest is 3%, so after 1 year, your 100 ringgit turns into 103 ringgit, and 3 ringgit will be your profit. So you do not take this profit out. Instead, you let it roll to the next cycle. So your starting investment or starting saving for your next cycle will be 103 ringgit. So you can see how this plays along after many years. So your initial starting point of 100, 10 years down the line will be 150 ringgit, something like that. So you have a profit of 50 ringgit after so many years. So this is what we call compounding. And FD is a very risk-free way to grow your money because it is protected by government. Did you know that almost every single FD account in the Malaysian banking world is protected by PIDM for your investment up to 250,000 ringgit? What this means is if the bank screws up and loses your money, PIDM will reimburse you the amount that you have invested with the bankrupted bank. So you are technically not losing any money and you are protected by the government. So this is one of the best way and easiest way to grow your money. From this point on, I will just be introducing some projection calculators that can calculate roughly how much you'll be getting after 30 years of saving. So let me just pull this one out real quick. In your EPF, if you start saving or working at the age of 25, every single month you'll be contributing 11% from yourself and 12% from the employer to your EPF account, which is your savings for retirement, which is mandatory. So over here says that your current salary is 3,400 ringgit. So that one is the gross one, the gross salary before any deductions are made. And after deductions, like I said earlier, you'll be getting somewhere around 3,000 ringgit. Assuming that you have a salary increment of 5% every single year for the rest of your 30-year career life, and assuming you are getting 1 month bonus every single year, and the contribution rate is unchanged at 11%, and the average dividend, which is usually an annual announcement by EPF on how much dividend they are giving to all the savers. So usually it's an average of 6.5%, give or take. So because this calculator doesn't allow me to put decimal points, so I put 6 as the average dividend with 0 balance in your EPF account. So by doing that, at the end of 30 years, at the retirement age of 55, you'll be having 753,600 ringgit. So you'll be asking,
Will, this is just 750,000, so how do I get 1 million?
This is only the first component of your saving. Second component, which is the FD one, you will be looking at 350,000 ringgit, give or take, with the initial deposit of 600, which is the 20% saving, with the annual interest rate of 3%, which is very common in most FDs, for 30 years, and you are putting 600 ringgit every single month for 30 years. So you can see that if your salary increases, this monthly recurring savings will also increase. So definitely your amount after 30 years will be more than 350,000 ringgit. So that is how you retire a millionaire. Yes, as simple as that. However, with that being said, your million ringgit 30 years from now will not be 1 million ringgit. It will be a lot lesser, thanks to something called inflation. I'm sorry, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's actual facts. This is true facts. You might be asking,
what is inflation? I've never heard of this. How does inflation make my money from 1 million ringgit go to less than 1 million ringgit?
So I'm telling you now, inflation is a global event. Inflation basically means your money today is worth a lot less than what your money is going to worth in the future. So for Malaysia, our national annual inflation rate is an average of 2%, which means your 1 ringgit today will be 98 cents next year in 2021. And after that, another 2% decrease, and another 2% decrease, and another 2% decrease, and you see how your money turns to half its value in X amount of years. In other words, if you were to buy a 1 ringgit nasi lemak today, next year at the same time, 2021, you have to pay 1 ringgit and 2 cents for the same nasi lemak. So that is how inflation works. With that said, your total savings for your retirement EPF plus FD will amount to 1.1 million ringgit, or 1,104,116 ringgit and 24 cents exactly. So after inflation in the next 30 years, your 1.1 million ringgit will become 609,550 ringgit and 43 cents. So your 1 million ringgit that you have saved is equivalent to 610,000 ringgit, which, yes, it is less than expected. I'm sorry, but this is actual facts, because like I said, your 1 ringgit and 2 cents nasi lemak will probably cost you 3 ringgit in the next 30 years. So whatever you eat now, which is less than 10 ringgit, will turn out become 10 plus ringgit. Your 100 ringgit then later will probably not buy as many things as your 100 ringgit today. So which is why I am incentivizing all of you to try and save more. As your pay increases, so should your savings. So your 1.1 million ringgit can end up become 2 million ringgit, and after inflation it will still drop to 1 million plus, but at least, hey, you are still retiring a millionaire. So this is just a very simple step to comfortably retire. So I will link all these calculators in the description down below, and one of the best calculators I have seen is surprisingly from the EPF website. So when you click the link I provided below, you'll be greeted with this screen with the nice young lady called Sarah over here, and over down there are many types of calculators that you can use to project your future savings, your future retirement needs, and also some other calculators that I did not discuss today, such as home loan affordability, mortgage. So all this can also be discussed in a future video. So yeah, you have just made yourself a millionaire, but you have to start getting into the mindset of saving and try to cut down on the unnecessary spending, try to cut down on Starbucks, try to cut down on crazy vacations every single year. This is how you can live comfortably after you have retired in the next 30 years. So if you like this video, please leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe to this channel, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss any future videos like this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.